Okay, today we are going to do a review on the North American Arms 1860 Sheriff 2.5 inch barrel with its stainless steel with rosewood grips. It is the 22 Magnum. Now you can get this one with the option of 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum. This one came with one cylinder, and that was the 22 Magnum. I opted for the 22 Magnum. I had been wanting one for a while, and I couldn't decide if I wanted a revolver or if I wanted to go with the Kel-Tec. I think it's the PMR or the PMC, I can't remember now. That is the 22 Magnum, 22 long rifle semi-automatic. And that one's very unusual, but that one was so hard to get that I just said, forget it, I'll just find a 22 Magnum. Long story short, the reason why I wanted a 22 Magnum, other than I didn't have one and they are relatively fun to shoot, and I had fired one before, is that at the time when I was first starting to look for one, 22 long rifle ammo was very hard to come by. And I'm sure you all remember this. It wasn't that long ago, a couple of years ago maybe, if even that long. And 22 Magnum was absolutely everywhere. Well, now 22 Magnum around in our area anyway is getting as hard to find as 22 long rifle is. And when you do find it, it's so ridiculously expensive. So I did actually find some online that's a pretty decent buy. So I'm just going to go ahead and buy some in bulk. But that is the story behind why I wanted a 22 Magnum. Now, why did I opt for this particular 22 Magnum? I love the size. It is not so tiny that your hand can't grip it properly. It is small enough though that you can literally wear it with anything and it not be seen. And would this be my, because I already know the questions are coming, would this be my main go-to defense gun? No. But if I am in the car and I want something on me that is quickly accessible, this is it. Or say I'm outside of my car but not that far, then I have my other gun in my car, my bigger gun, if I'm in an area where I feel like I need it. And this would be my get to my bigger gun. But it's also just an awesomely, the weight, the size, everything about it is really, when I say awesome, I absolutely mean that. The reason being is because when I'm just walking around on the property, I used to always carry my 357, which is pretty heavy, my GP 100, for snakes. And, you know, I wouldn't want to walk into a hog with a 22 Magnum on me. So depends on which property I'm at. But we don't have a lot of hog problems around here, but we do have snakes. And so I prefer to have some snake shot on me and the ability to take care of one if I need to. This gun is absolutely perfect for it. So we'll get into some of the details as we go along in the review. Now I've already, obviously, because I have carried this several times, I have already fired it multiple times. That's why I have it taken apart to clean right now. And being a revolver, it doesn't have to be cleaned every time you fire it. But I'm just kind of obsessive with my weapons like that. I want them clean, and I want to know that they are ready and serviceable when I need them to be. So, yeah, I'd rather have a gun that's too clean than a gun that is not clean enough. I think really the hardest thing about this gun is finding a holster for it. Because there's, like, locally, there's nothing unless you just put it like in a generic holster. And then some of the holsters that they have for it online even are just kind of, I don't know. I'm not real fond of them, just put it that way. So that's been the hardest thing with this, is finding a holster that I like for carry. Right now I'm just carrying it in a generic little holster. I think this is, I don't know, I can't even remember what this is. I've had this holster forever. A little inside the waistband is all it is. And I've been carrying it in that. It previously had another gun in it. So what did I pay for this gun? I ended up paying $100 out the door at the pawn shop for it. It was new in the box. But the reason why I only paid $100 for it, it would have been $250. I negotiated them down $50, and after I negotiated them down that $50 to where the price was $200, then I negotiated a trade-in for another gun that I absolutely hated, that I paid $89 for, that was like new condition but used. But again, I hated that gun. So ended up, after trade-in, after discount, out the door, $100, and that included 2 boxes of ammo. So not too bad at all, and it's well worth it. And a friend of mine just recently bought the exact same gun, but both cylinders with hers, and paid $329 or $349 for hers. So and that was without tax. So anyway, I think pretty good deal, and I'm very happy with the $100 that I spent on it. And I would have been happy, I think, if I spent the $250 on it, because I do like the gun that much. Now, one of the things I like is how nicely it fits my hand. It is really small, so again, I know men carry these guns too sometimes, or have them for sport or ankle shooters. I mean, just all kinds of different things. But as for me, as you know, an average sized woman, this one fits my hand very nicely. So I like the way, and I like that it doesn't feel like a toy. It's small, but because it's stainless steel, it has enough weight that it doesn't feel like a toy. It feels like a real gun. And, you know, it's, again, because it's small, even shooting the Magnum, you feel it. It's just 22 Magnum, but you do feel it. But again, because of stainless steel, the weight of that, it absorbs it a little more too. Now, right off the bat, one of the things that my husband absolutely hated about this gun was this right here, this trigger. That's one of the things I liked about it. It's got such a tiny trigger. It doesn't get in the way. One of the things that this gun also has that most revolvers don't. Now, I say most because I know the new Heritage Rough Rider actually has a safety on it. But this has a safety too, a cylinder safety. And so that's one of the things that I really like. Unlike the Heritage Rough Rider, where you load one at a time, this one, you literally, you don't just drop the cylinder out. You take the whole cylinder out. So on a lot of the other revolvers, like my GP100, my bigger revolver, you flip the little thing and the cylinder goes out to the side. Well, with this, the whole cylinder comes out. So when you're loading it, you have to take out the whole cylinder, which, since it's not, you know, like I said, it's a gun that I use more for on the property, or like I said, get to my bigger gun, I'm not all that concerned with that it might take me a little bit longer to reload it, because again, with practice, it's pretty fast too. So just like with any gun, you just have to practice working with your gun. Let's see how long it takes to put it together. This is just like terribly, terribly burdensome. There we go. And now I'm doing this slow because, you know, like I said, it's really no rush. And bam. So there you have it. And that's without even putting any real effort into it. So do that multiple times with some effort into it, and it's going to be easy peasy. There you go. Pop that out. That's how fast it goes out. Goes back in. Just release that lever a little bit. Whoops. Now I said it. And this. And the final push. There you go. So like I said, now, safety. There's these little cylinder locks on it. So you take it to right here. And there you go. And if you'll see, it locks it back so you're still partially cocked, but you can't pull the trigger. It won't do a thing. See? Trigger, nothing. And obviously, since I just unloaded it and I took the cylinder in and out, I do know that it is definitely unloaded. And that's why I went ahead and tried to pull the trigger, even while it was pointing generally at my refrigerator. As you can see, that's a pretty slick looking little gun. Really nice and lightweight, 2.5-inch barrel, very accurate. And I'll show you from the front so you can see it's not a colored sight, but it's a very, very prominent sight, front sight. And then it just has like a rail sight in the back. So not the best there, but you know, hey, how much aiming are you really going to do? Now, I will tell you, I have fired this handgun and I know, I would say I was probably at least 25 feet away. It might have been further, but I don't want to over exaggerate. So I'll say at least 25 feet away, and it was still accurate. So basically, accuracy at a distance is going to be dependent upon the user, just like with any weapon. But these smaller guns are absolutely meant for up close and personal. And like I said, I just love, I mean, this is like, look, seriously, 2 fingers. And it's pretty well balanced, if you'll see, because that's 2 fingers, and it's just holding on just like that. So that's a pretty nice little gun right there. All right, so let's go ahead and take it out to the range and see what it's like when we actually shoot it. So now we're going to shoot the North American Arms 1860 Sheriff, little 22 Magnum. Okay, there you have it. Little 1860, and 2 of them were the shot shell rounds, like the snake shot. So I had first 2 weren't bad, 3rd one up there, and then if you'll see a little snake shot up around in there. So like that little 1860, works pretty darn good. One of the things I really like about the 1860 is that little bitty trigger is so smooth, and I just really like firing it. It's quick, it's easy, it's got, you know, that huge sight up front. Yeah, it's not colored or anything, but if you needed to, you could, you know, put a little whiteout or something on there or paint it, but I like it just the way it is. It's got a nice big sight, easy to handle, nice little grip, excellent little gun. Love it.